Do you ever get the feeling that life is harder for you than it seems to be for others? Like, no matter what you do, you're carrying this invisible weight. And what if I told you that you have been trained, without realizing it, to make life harder than what it actually is? This video is not about toxic positivity. It's about how your body, mind, and identity sometimes keep you in an invisible struggle, one that you can step out of. Stay with me, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Most people do not even realize that they're making their life harder than it actually is, because it doesn't look like self-sabotage. What it looks like is overthinking every conversation, micromanaging how you appear, assuming that people are judging you, or replaying conversations and what you said hours later. It's exhausting. But here's the thing. It is not a character flaw. It is a defense mechanism. The more you had to defend yourself growing up, the more likely it is that you're living in a state of tension right now. A state where normal things, simple things might feel more complicated. Whatever we experience, whatever emotional impact we are having between the age of 0 and 7, that defines our basic emotional line. That is the time that we cannot even think too much. We are feeling. There's the time when we are feeling. And when the emotional tone of those 7 years were some negative emotions, maybe you weren't understood, maybe you were neglected, you actually wanted to defend yourself against that. So the emotional tone of those 7 years define what you are experiencing right now. That gives you an emotional home, an emotional basis. In those 7 years, all of us are egoistic and think that everything happens because of us. We are the center of the universe, and some people do not go further than that. You definitely have seen examples of that in your life. Maybe it's you. I can tell you, it was me for a long time. You probably have heard of the following concept. When your being is conditional, when someone says to you, you are a good boy, you're a good girl when you do this, you're a bad boy, you're a bad girl when you do something else, then you feel like your being is conditional. And on top of that, if someone says to you that you should be doing things, it feels like that there is a higher power that judges you based on what you actually do. According to Manuel J. Smith, and the author of When I Say No, I Feel Guilty, there are 3 main emotions that are governing our lives. The 3 emotions are ignorance, guilt, and anxiety. Let's say someone is telling you, you should be doing that. You have to do this. They do not claim that they want you to do that. It sort of makes you feel like that there's a higher power because of which you need to be doing things. There's a right or wrong things for all of us. And if you do not understand why you should be doing that, but you just accept that you need to be doing that, you might be feeling ignorant. Because you feel ignorant, you feel guilty because you don't understand why you could feel ignorant. And that can lead you to feel anxious about future events when you need to be doing something that you do not even understand. So you might go into a state of, okay, I accept that I will do that, I do not understand. In my life, it manifested in a certain way because I was told that I need to be doing this, and it was taken for granted that it is the best thing that I could be doing, that I am good when I do this and I am not good when I do this. So the want wasn't claimed. When someone wanted me to do things, it would have been enough that I want you to do things. I'm your mom, I'm your dad, I want you to do things. So it would have taught me that it is okay to be wanting things. It is okay to be claiming that it is how you would like things to be. We don't have to be throwing things around that this is how it should be, because it's not an ultimate law. It is a choice, and this choice might have been given from previous generations, and we take it for granted. So basically what you learn is that safety is obedience and goodness is compliance. So you never really learn to earn your identity and claim that actually it's okay that I want things in a way I want that. And I do not have to have good feelings about doing something for my mom or dad. It is enough that they ask me to do things, and I can be feeling about it in many different ways. Emotions are not rational, they're not logical. We can feel bad and good about the same things. And we do that, maybe not at the same time, but it is also possible to feel good and bad at the same time about the same thing. But our feelings are usually changing with the time. And we might be feeling good about the same thing that we used to feel bad about. So it is not logical. But because we are nice people, we would like to explain things with logic. We like to overthink. We like to think that if we give a good enough reason, then we are allowed to be doing things that we wanted to be doing. But this is not the case. You have actually the right to want to do things, to claim that this is your life and no one else can say anything about what you do. And you do not have to give the reasons if you do not choose to. You can give the reasons if you choose to, but you are the ultimate judge of who you are and what you do. So you don't have to wait for permission for others to tell you that, oh, you're allowed to be doing this. You can actually claim that you've already chosen, you've already decided. So let me talk a little bit more about ignorance, guilt, and anxiety, because it manifested in my life completely differently. I didn't even realize it until I read the book. What I felt like when someone told me that I needed to be doing something and I needed to accept that, I always questioned it. And because it was taken for granted that this is the right way to do things, I thought that was stupid for not understanding it. And that put me on an exploration because I didn't understand why I would need to be doing things without a good reason to do that. So because I felt ignorant, I felt stupid because I didn't understand things. And then I wanted to compensate for all of this. I wanted to compensate for being ignorant. I wanted to compensate for being or feeling stupid. And then I felt guilty. And because I felt guilty about not understanding and being stupid, I felt shameful. I felt like I don't have the right to be there. Others would be doing that much better. I don't understand why I would need to be doing things. So I felt really shameful about me not being in a way I was sort of expected to be. And then it caused some further loops of anxiety and fear and whatever it is. But I couldn't unsee it because it felt so real. When we feel bad, when we feel ignorant, guilt, shameful, stupid, anxious, our mind narrows its focus. We start going into a fight or flight response, fight or flight state, from which we will see reality. So all the experiences that gets to us are according to those feelings. Recently at my work, I noticed that when there was silence, basically no stimulation, my mind started to pick on noises and some tones of people, what they're saying as against me. And I'm like, oh, hang on a second. Why do you assume that this is against you? It wanted to keep me in an emotional loop, something that I didn't understand. And then I noticed, it's actually creating problems for me. After talking to one of my friends, she asked, is it possible that you're making your life more difficult than it actually is? And I thought all her experiences manifested in that little sentence. And I started to think about it, and many different things came up. I started realizing that in silence, I assumed a lot of difficult things. When there was no stimulation at my job, I realized that I was interpreting noises as it's threatening, as it's against me. When there was a tonality of someone saying something, I assumed that they said it in that way, so they make me feel in a certain way. Then I needed to stop this because it wasn't useful. It just kept me in a loop, and I didn't want to be repeating everything that I was aware of. So I was thinking, how can I be using this energy to do something different with it? Not to keep me anxious, not to keep me fearful, not to keep me reactive, but to make me proactive and creative. So here is what I started doing differently. I started becoming aware of my thought patterns when I felt my body was contracting. And it was very visible after a couple of days of basically noticing how I was feeling. And then I started to say one thing for myself. I refuse to interpret this situation. Because the go-to scenario was that there was an event and I went to overthinking and was trying to change my thinking through thinking about it in a different way. I didn't actually change my focus. I was trying to change the meaning of what I was giving to the situation, but in real time, it's very, very difficult. The best thing that you can do is actually to realize that you are doing it and then refuse to do that from all your cells, because you understand that this is not helpful. If you get anxious, if you start overthinking, if you get into a reactive pattern of adjusting yourself too much so that others feel safe around you or that others are happy with you, then you're going to start reacting. You're not creating your life, you're reacting. So you are making your life how it is today. Your life cannot be different to what it is because of your choices and actions that you have done in the past. And actions, I mean your habits. And your habits are facilitated because of how you think, what beliefs you hold to be true. And because of those beliefs, you are thinking in a certain way. But it doesn't have to be that way. It can change anytime once you decide. But most people decide to change who they are, how they do things based on how much pain they are experiencing in the present. But this doesn't have to be that way. Because if you think of it, if you're repeating the same thing in the same way, or you are trying to do something different by doing the same thing more, then you're basically just running errands and you're not going to be changing anything you want. So it requires you to feel safe, to slow down, to zoom out and see things from perspective. So you can ask yourself, am I adding unnecessary struggle to this moment that I'm experiencing right now? If yes, pause and ask, what emotions are narrowing my focus right now? What am I assuming? And what would I need to be believing in order to feel this way or think this way? And then it's important to not just think about what you don't want to be experiencing, like I don't want this, but actually think of what you want instead. So your mind can start thinking about it in a different way. So you don't need to earn your worth. You don't need to suffer to deserve. You're okay how you are. It is just a pattern that you have been carrying with you all your life, but it can be rewritten. You just have to give it a different meaning, and then it's done. It's just a decision away. You get to choose clarity over assumption, presence over performance, and connection over survival. If this opens something for you, drop a comment with how you used to make your life more difficult, and from now on, how you're going to change it. If you want more grounded tools for emotional freedom and creative presence, hit subscribe. You're not broken. You're just remembering to live in a different way than what is useful for you. This is just the beginning.